Good day, everyone. I am going to discuss the Customs Memorandum Order number 22, series of 2010, miscellaneous provisions. Section 20. Certificate for quarantine cargo. When cargo manifested for any port in the Philippines is retained on board the importing vessel by order of the quarantine officer or any other officer authorized to issue such order, the customs inspector on board, after verifying said cargo, shall make a certificate of constructive lading as to the bill of lading. Section 21. Use of boarding watercraft. The customs senior boarding officer shall not permit anyone to go with customs boarding watercraft upon departure from the pier except customs inspectors and customs guards duly assigned to vessels to be boarded customs inspectors and customs guard assigned by the ship-based service section or its equivalent office to substitute for absence personnel and those specially granted in writing by the ship, piers and inspection division or its equivalent office may be given the privilege to use the boarding watercraft. Section 22. Baggage Declaration Entry. Baggage declaration, properly accomplished by incoming passengers, shall be presented to the customs inspector on board or the customs examiner or appraiser upon boarding of the vessel. It is required that an itemized enumeration thereon of the articles obtained abroad showing the quantity and the corresponding invoice price should be made in the baggage declarations. Articles, wares, goods, merchandise, and any other cargo acquired abroad not so declared shall be liable to seizure and subject to the penalties of customs law. Section 22. Vessel clearing for foreign ports applying for bunkers. The customs inspector on board of a vessel clearing for foreign ports and applying for bunkers shall require the master thereof to transmit together with his application the usual affidavit containing the following: first, name and nationality of the vessel; second, amount of fuel oil available on board for its proportion at time of entry; 3. Vessel's daily consumption of oil at sea; 4. Vessel's daily consumption of oil in port; 5. Port or ports of call during the voyage and duration of vessels stay at each port; and lastly, the amount of bunkers applied for. Section 24. Unloading of cargo by distressed vessel. The distressed vessel in port desiring to unload cargo for the duration of the vessel's sojourn thereat may be issued a permit to discharge her cargo upon written request of the master or agent, approved by the collector of customs under such terms and conditions he may deem proper. If the cargo's discharge will be cleared or entered in the port where they are discharged, the unloading of this class of cargo shall be subject to the same rules and regulations prescribed for cargoes destined for the port, unless authority by a ship-side discharge permit, such cargo shall be discharged unto the pier. If discharged into lighters, such lighters must be of the closed type and must be secured, locked, and sealed with customs seals, and must remain under guard until final disposition thereof is made. Section 25. Ship's mail. Ship's mail shall be examined as they are being taken from the ship, and all mails addressed to the persons other than the agents of the vessel shall be delivered to the mail clerk. Any dutiable articles or merchandise other than mail found in a mailbox shall be subject to duties and taxes or seizure. Section 26. Laborers and ship's laundry. All stevedores, laborers, and other persons of similar status shall be thoroughly searched by or under the immediate supervision of the customs inspector on board upon their leaving the vessel. Any such person found with ill-fitted articles or those not authorized for discharge in his person shall be arrested. 4 bundles of clothing, ship linens or laundry, etc., which are to be taken ashore for laundering, a list shall be prepared by the inspector, who shall check them against such list upon their return on board, so that the corresponding duties and or taxes may be assessed and collected on those unaccounted for before the vessel sails. Section 27. Seizure. The customs inspector or customs guard making the seizure shall deliver to the owner or the claimant, and if unclaimed, to the master of the vessel, a receipt describing the article seized. He shall forward immediately the articles seized together with the seizure reports and transfers note to the ship, Piers and Inspection Division or its equivalent office. Section 28. Arrest. Upon searching a vessel or any person on board thereof, the customs inspector or customs guard on board is authorized and required to search, arrest, and even detain conformably with the law any person found committing act or acts contrary to law. When a person is apprehended under such circumstances, the customs inspector on board shall conduct an informal investigation after termination, whereof the person arrested, together with the evidence, shall be turned over to the Enforcement and Security Service for appropriate action. The report in detail showing the name of the person arrested, the reason for the arrest, and action taken shall be submitted without delay to the Ship, Piers, and Inspection Division or its equivalent office. Section 29. Small boats alongside vessels. Small boats authorized by the PPA to engage in ferry services may be permitted to come alongside the vessel. A customs guard shall be stationed at all times while a small boat, launch, or any watercraft is alongside, and it shall be thoroughly searched before being permitted to depart. Section 30. Customs guards for vessels alongside. The customs guard shall be detailed by the customs inspector on board of a vessel when another vessel is lying alongside, whose duty shall be to see that no contraband articles or merchandise are passed from one vessel to the other. This duty shall be arranged in rotation so that the vessel will be under continuous surveillance until its departure. Section 31. Having anchor and sail. Upon receipt of a notice of clearance, the customs inspector on board shall allow the vessel to have anchor and sail, but if for any reason the ship does not leave and remains in port for more than 48 hours after the time of departure indicated in the clearance, the master or agent shall be required to secure from the customs clearance officer an extension of time for departure, without which the original clearance shall be of no force or effect. Section 32. A pair of vessel equipment. Upon the filing of a bond under guard, Section 105 of the Tariff and Customs Code of the Philippines as amended, guaranteeing the re-exportation and approved by the Collector of Customs the landing of sails, casks, chronometers, and other portions of the vessel's equipment for the purpose of having them repaired shall be permitted. The Customs Inspector shall describe the articles or equipment so released in sufficient detail to enable easy and ready identification upon their return. Section 33. Conversion of vessel status. A. From foreign to coastwise. Vessels of foreign status may be converted to coastwise status after the following requirements have been fully complied with and submitted to the Collector of Customs through the Customs Clearance Officer, prerequisite to the issuance of clearance. First, certificate from the concerned office of the Bureau that import entry have been filed and duties and taxes have been paid or secured to be paid. Second, certification of conversion issued by the Maritime Industry Authority. Third, certification from the Ship, Piers, and Inspection Division and Ship-Based Service Section or their equivalent offices with the Enforcement and Security Service as member of the searching team that the vessel has been fully searched for contraband cargoes, indicating therein the result of the searching mission. Fourth, certification from the shipping agency attested by the customs inspector on board that all foreign cargoes are fully discharged from vessel. Fifth, inventory list of ship stores and saloons and cruise declaration list shall be duly accomplished, signed by the master of the vessel, and attested by the customs inspector on board. Such vessel shall be subject to continuous underguarding until final clearance is issued by the office of the deputy collector for operations. B. From coastwise to foreign. Vessels of coastwise status may be converted to a foreign status subject to the following requirements. First, certification of conversion issued by the Maritime Industry Authority. Second, duly processed export declarations, permits. Section 34, letters to collector. The customs senior boarding officer shall collect all letters in the vessel's possession addressed to the Collector of Customs and transmit them without delay to the Customs House conversion issued by the Maritime Industry Authority. Section 35, refuse and garbage. No refuse, garbage, and the like shall be thrown or just thrown inside any harbor, more especially while ship is alongside piers. All damaged and rotten cargoes shall be disposed of upon arrangement and permission of the Collector of Customs at the area designated by the said official or duly authorized representative after consultations with the Philippine Coast Guard and or the Department of Environment and Natural Resources. Master of vessels desiring to load or discharge ballast shall first obtain permission from the collector of customs or surveyor of the port, and shall obey the instruction given them by the harbor master as to where the ballast shall be taken from for discharge, as the case may be. Section 36. Firearms, Care and Use. Care should be exercised in the use of firearms. The unnecessary display of firearms is prohibited. An employee should remember that the law will hold him personally responsible for the result of the use of firearms by him. A weapon should not be drawn or used except in self-defense or to prevent the commissions of a felony, while it is not intended that an officer or employee should jeopardize his own life or the life of an associate when danger threatens. It is intended that extreme caution and cool deliberation control his actions. Section 37. Instructions relative to discharging, withdrawal, and loading of empty containers. First, discharging of empty container. The shipping agent prior to discharge of the empty container shall furnish the Customs Container Control Division or its equivalent office a copy of the approved sequence of discharge and a separate listing of empty containers to be discharged from the carrying vessel for monitoring and aging purposes. Second, withdrawal of empty containers. The shipping agent concerned shall present a letter request to the Ship Customs Container Control Division or its equivalent office for withdrawal of empty container from the pier. Once approved, the Deputy Collector for Operations, the Ship Enforcement Security Service, and the Ship Piers and Inspection Division shall be furnished copies of the request and the permit to withdraw issued. 3. Loading of empty containers. Prior to the loading of empty containers on board carrying vessel, the shipping agent concerned shall apply for a special permit to load in a letter application made for that purpose at the Customs Container Control Division or its equivalent office. It shall be the responsibility of the Customs Container Control Division or its equivalent office to physically inspect every empty container brought into and loaded into the port and to verify if and that the same is empty as represented by the concerned parties. The empty containers shall be inspected upon their arrival into after their unloading into the port and not when these empty containers are being loaded into the carrying vessel. For this purpose, the Ship Customs Container Control Division or its equivalent office shall coordinate with the concerned shipping agent and the arrestry operator for the segregation of these empty containers and for their inspection while in port. Section 38. Instruction relative to the withdrawal of shut-out containerized export. 1. Withdrawal of shut-out containerized export cargoes. All applications for the withdrawal of shut-out containerized export cargoes shall be directly filed with the Ship CCCD or its equivalent office. Spot checking of the contents of the subject containers shall no longer be required, but instead the following precautionary measures shall be undertaken. A. The application to withdraw shut-out containerized export cargo shall be accompanied at all times by the following. First, certification of the shipping agent concerned attesting to such fact. Second, an equipment interchange receipt. And lastly, a copy of export declaration, permit, inquiry. B. The spot checking shall be confined only to determine whether the original shipping agent shell affects after the stopping operations is intact. In case the containerized export cargoes are deliveries from a CBW, which fact shall be indicated in the application, the same shall not be withdrawn unless accompanied by a customs guard who shall guard the same until the shipment is received by the assigned customs warehouseman, customs storekeeper at their CBW. Section 39. Shifting of cargoes. Shipping agent shall submit a written request for shifting of cargoes to the office of the Ship Piers and Inspection Division or its equivalent office, which in turn shall recommend its approval to the Deputy Collector for Operations. Section 40. Diwanning, stripping, and stopping. Consignee shall submit a written request for diwanning, stripping, and stopping to the office of the Ship Piers and Inspection Division or its equivalent office, which in turn shall recommend its approval to the Deputy Collector for Operations. Section 41. Direct-to-truck transfer. For direct transfer of container, cargo from vessel truck, consignee, customs broker shall submit a written request to the office of the Ship Piers and Inspection Division or its equivalent office, which in turn shall recommend its approval to the Deputy Collector for Operations. Section 42. Overtime permit. All requests for overtime work by the Piers and Inspection Division or its equivalent office personnel other than those regular activities mentioned in this manual shall be recommended by the Ship Piers and Inspection Division or its equivalent office and approved by the Deputy Collector for Operations. Section 43. Discharging of vessels lodge. All requests for discharging of vessels lodge shall be recommended by the Ship Piers and Inspection Division or its equivalent office and approved by the Deputy Collector for operations. Sample of sludge shall be taken by the customs examiner from formal entry division or its equivalent office for examination purposes. Section 44. Bunkering permit. All requests for vessel bunkering, refueling shall be recommended for approval by the Ship, Piers, and Inspection Division or its equivalent office to the Ship Ports Operations Service. Section 45. Leisure racing yacht. The boarding formalities shall, as far as practicable, apply to leisure crafts, yachts, foreign fishing vessels, and local fishing vessels from abroad. These provisions shall include all vessels arriving in the country that are participants of regattas or similar competitions. During boarding formalities, the master owner of the yacht, other similar vessel, shall manifest, state its intention, purpose of its journey in the Philippines. He must indicate if its voyage is for pleasure, indicate intended period of stay in the Philippines, conversion from a foreign to coastwise, payment of duties and taxes, or conduct of business in the Philippines. Port Harbor Regulations to Customs. A. Vessel entering port. 1. All vessels entering any port of entry or coastwise in the Philippines shall show their colors and signal their official numbers or letters, and such signals shall be kept flying till the vessel is boarded by the proper officials. All vessels within 2 miles before arriving at designated quarantine anchorage shall display their aforementioned signals. 2. When mail is to be discharged, the vessel shall inform the port authorities by the prescribed signals at the earliest opportunity. B. Flag signals or calls. 1. At the Philippine port of entry, signals will be responded to and from the customs house or pilot signal tower. 2. The following signals or calls shall be used in all Philippine ports of entry. A. Customs, International Code flags, E and C, at night, 3 or 4 short blasts of whistle and waving of a light. B. Quarantine, International Code flag, Q at E4. C. Pilot International Code flag G or PT at night first. The pyrotechnic light, commonly known as blue light, every 15 minutes. 2. A bright white light, flash or shown at short frequent intervals just above the hull for about a minute at a time, or the International Code signal PT by flashing light. D. Explosives or inflammables, International Code flag B at the fore. E. Medical assistance, International Code flag or customs call. F. Contagious or infectious disease, International Code flag E, C, Q. G. That customs and quarantine calls or International Code flags E and L. H. Distress by day, International Code flags N, C, or gun or other explosive signals fired at intervals of about a minute, or the desert signal consisting of square flag having either above or below it a ball or anything resembling a ball at night. First, a gun or other explosive signal fired at intervals or above a minute. Second, flames on the vessel as from a burning tar, barrel, oil, barrel, etc. 3. Rockets or shields throwing stars of any colors or description, fired one at a time at short intervals. I. Male International Code flag Y. J. Waterboat International Code flags R, C, Q, or F, U. K. PIDESS Customs Call. L. Harbor Master International Code flags G, Y, T, M. Maneuvering International Code flag D at night. C. Quarantine requirements. Death, illness, or accidents involving physical to any personnel on board a vessel in a harbor shall be at once reported to the Collector of Customs and the quarantine officer. D. Repair, dry docking of vessel. For dry docking, the following documents are required. A. Searching and inventory report. B. Approval from the Office of the Deputy Collector for operations. C. Certification from contractor, scope of work and duration of repair. E. Sunken vessel. Whenever the navigation of any harbor or navigable river tributary thereto shall be obstructed by any sunken vessel, boat, watercraft, or other similar obstruction has existed for a period longer than 30 days, or whenever abandonment can be established in a less space of time, the sunken vessel, boat, watercraft, or other obstruction may be broken up, removed, sold, or otherwise disposed by the Collector of Customs in his discretion at the expenses of the owner, provided, however, that if navigation of a waterway is prevented or seriously endangered by any obstruction, the Collector of Customs may cause its removal immediately and before the expiration of 30 days at the expense of the owner thereof. F. Lighters, tugs, and other watercraft. Lighters shall not be tied nor removed from the alongside a vessel without permission of the customs inspector on board such vessel. G. Police authority performed by customs officer. First, customs officer have the power to arrest within harbor limits person violating the customs, immigrations, and navigation laws. and regulations person committing crimes or breaches of the peace. Such arrests shall be reported without delay to their superior officer. Second, any person who assaults, resists, opposes, or interferes in any manner with the customs officer in the discharge of his duty shall be liable and subject to the penalties prescribed by law. H. Rat guards. When any vessel either of foreign or Philippine registry is at any dock, pier, wharves, quay, or bulkhead, such vessel shall take proper precaution to prevent the passage of rodents to or from the vessel. Second, the master of any vessel of foreign registry of Philippine registry engaged in foreign trade, whether lying alongside a pier, dock, quay, wharf, or bulkhead, or in the stream, shall have suitable red cords placed on all lines between idling lighters or small boats or other carriers and the vessel, which must be so fastened that the cord will remain at right angles to and tight on the line. 3. No cargo shall be discharged from or received on board a vessel lying alongside a pier, wharf, quay, dock, or bulkhead, or in the stream before the suitable rod guards have been placed on all the lines loading from the carriers to the vessel and from the vessel to the pier, wharf, quay, or bulkhead, except in the case of a coastwise vessels handling coastwise cargo to or from barges, lighters, or other carriers, or from barges, lighters, or other carriers, when the rod cord requirement on lines between vessel and a carrier may be dispensed with. I. Other special anchorages. Likewise, all other boats and watercrafts are prohibited to anchor or to linger around any vessel whether moored at a pier or anchored in the harbor at a distance of less than 50 meters from said vessel unless especially authorized by the collector of custom. J. Specific regulation. 1. No empty lighters or carriers shall lie at night alongside the Philippine government pier or alongside a vessel moored thereto, nor shall empty lighter or carriers be attached to such pier or vessel by cables or ropes or attached to loaded or partly loaded carriers, which may be alongside or fastened to such pier or vessel. Second, empty lighters or carriers alongside or attached to such pier or vessel during daytime shall be removed therefrom before nightfall. Third, the provision contained in paragraph 1 and 2 above hereof shall not apply to carriers partially laden with import or export cargo, or to empty carriers which may have been prepared or which are preparing to receive cargo from a pier or vessel when delivery from a pier or discharge of a vessel during night time has been duly authorized. Last, any vessel or other watercraft in the Philippine harbor shall, when a case of sickness occurs on board, immediately hoist the regulation quarantine flag, yellow, and keep the same flying until boarded and passed upon by an inspector of the Quarantine Bureau. The flag shall be of sufficient size and so placed as to be plainly visible.